wrestling fans, and welcome to another episode, a thankful episode of the internationally known Dudes at Ringside podcast. I'm your host, Joe Panther III, and man, I love this month. You get a lot of turkey, you fall asleep, there's football on almost every day of the week. We are now officially in the middle of Thankful for Wrestling Month. And I'm thankful because of my family, my grandfather being the wrestler, my cousin, Pete Sanchez, and my other family member, can't forget the Blue Demon, Frank Martinez. I heard about you in the middle of the pandemic, never met you too, but I'm thankful for knowing that my family is so royal in wrestling. But today, we have a young lady that's been in the business not that long, but she still has an awesome story today. Introduce yourself.
Hi, everybody. I am the gold standard, Joseline Navarro.
Welcome, Joseline. Welcome. So, how did you get into the wrestling business?
I was always a wrestling fan growing up. And then I branched off and started playing other sports. I played soccer, I ran track, and I played lacrosse. And I got a full ride to college for track and field. And then I was just like, yeah, I don't want to do this anymore. So I was like, let me try wrestling. I've always been a wrestling fan, always enjoyed wrestling. So I looked for a wrestling school in Cleveland, Ohio, and I found one and I started training in. Here
Hmm.
I am.
So, like, who was your trainer when you first got into the school?
Um, so at AIW, it was Josh Prohibition and Dominic Greeny.
So, with the two guys there, like, what kind of advice did they give you that you tossed into your like character and your moveset?
The number one advice was always just be authentically you. So really, like I'm just me. Like I just do things like when I do things, people are always surprised like how fast I am or like how strong I am. I'm just like or how entertaining I am. And I'm just like I'm a clown in real life, so it's like I'm just gonna clown around everywhere.
It's good to like when you're some people go into their characters and like when they hear their song or they know they're going to a show, they act a certain way. But like I guess with you, it's just you. It's not like you're getting some guy with a pig mask or like you're not like Jack the monster or Becca the sorority girl, but you're you. You're straight up. So we all know who we're getting when we're getting on the card. So when you went to the curtain for the very first time, your very first match, what were you thinking? What was your energy like?
I was so excited because I was like, finally, I'm finally having my first match. It was against Zoe Sky. So that was really awesome because she's a really amazing wrestler. She's been doing this for a while. We got through it, no hiccups. It was definitely a fun time. And I knew, like, wow, I've been wanting to do this for so long and finally got to have my first match. And after you hit the curtain the first time, you want more of that and bigger capacities. So,
Hmm. It's something when you get your first match and the person you were working with, like you could work with them backstage before a show. Some wrestlers they have to like Instagram or like text the person like is it like being in such a like your case you're so new in the business, is it like easier to like go backstage and talk to the older wrestlers or is it like harder these days?
these days it's a lot easier because a lot of people are a lot more welcoming to people talking to them. So but me, I'm like naturally not a social person. So
Mm.
it was hard for me for a long time to talk to people, and that's just because I don't like talking to people. But over time, it's gotten better for me. Yeah.
Yeah, that's good because over time you're able to speak to people. So like when you're out in public and you're at like dinner with your parents or you're with your friends out for like a drink for the night, and if a fan sees you at like a restaurant or out somewhere, like do you ever get like they ever how is it being a professional wrestler? You get recognized out in public.
That's happened to me a few times before, actually. and it's pretty cool because they're like, oh my, like you're Joseline, like oh I seen you wherever they see me, and I just be like, oh thank you, like tell my parents like, oh my god, I'm a celebrity.
That's like me in my town. Like I live in a small town, Jocelyn, and like I used to work at Walmart. I was a greeter, so I'll be eating dinner. They're like, "Oh, you're Joe the greeter." I'm like, "Yes." Yeah. Num nums. No, no. Bad. Get my food. Get out of here. You're like the southern guy. Get out of here. Phew. So, like, have you ever thought of traveling like anywhere else across the globe or like in the within the country?
Yeah, I wrestle a lot of different places. I've wrestled in a few countries. My goal for 2024 is definitely get to Japan and get over to Europe. So, and wrestle out west more also. So those are definitely things I would like to do within like the next year and stuff.
Have you gone to like East Coast, like the New York, New Jersey, like Massachusetts kind of area yet?
Yeah, I wrestled in Massachusetts. I wrestled for Beyond.
Oh, I love
Um,
Beyond. Oh, I love those guys. They're so awesome. I
yeah,
love Beyond.
yeah. It was definitely awesome. It was a good time. I would love to go back. I'm actually going to New York City next weekend, so
Ooh,
um,
who you wrestling with? Who you wrestling with?
I'm actually not wrestling. I'm doing customs up there, so it's kind of like wrestling, but it's like not wrestling. So it's
Okay.
like so pretty much what customs is they fans like pay money to like create their own match with like two wrestlers. So
Hmm.
that's what that is. I have wrestled in New York a few times though. It was in Queens. Um,
Hmm.
I I can't remember what the promotion was called because it was right before the pandemic, so can't remember.
Hmm.
But I love I love wrestling in New York. I would like to wrestle more up there also. I like being on the East Coast in general. It's pretty cool. Yeah.
There's a promotion that you should definitely put on your notes on your phone or like on a little book you have.
Hmm.
The promotion is called Warriors of Wrestling. They're out of Staten Island. I said Staten Island. Staten Island. They have a lot of good wrestlers. They're doing a show actually in November this month.
Hmm.
They're doing it in Brooklyn. I went to the show last time. Man, they bring down the house. It's good wrestlers. The fans are always at it at their like at it. They're always the fans are happy. I went there once and I'm like, and people are like, who is this guy with the blue jacket walking around with the red glasses? But they're really nice. The fans are really sweet. They welcome you in. I'm like, I'm new here to like, oh wow, new show, right? I'm like, yeah. Um, is there any independent wrestlers from the East Coast or like from your area that you have not had a chance to work with? And if that there is, who would that be?
Um. Hmm. That's a good question. You know what? I don't know. I
Oh,
do not know.
I could see you facing Kathleen, Little Me Kathleen or Becca.
You know what? I wrestled Becca earlier this year, but it was a four-way, and me and her want to do a one-on-one. So that would definitely be cool. I would like to wrestle Alec Price in a
Oh, he's
one-on-one.
cool. Tell him
He's
Joe Panther says, "What's up, bruh?" like
he comes
he's
down to my
nuts.
home
That
promotion a
guy's
lot.
crazy.
He's fun. I really enjoy watching him wrestle.
He
He and
says no cap a lot though. He
yeah.
says no cap a lot. You should write it down in a book. How many times? You gotta seriously. We get back when you get back with him, and when you're done, send me how many times he said no cap in one conversation. It's about 150 times. He said it during the podcast with me back in the day. I didn't count it, but I swear in my brain I counted 150 no caps. I was like, man, Lids would be so upset. No cap, no cap, no cap, bro. And I'm like,
Like
I
all
need a
right.
cap. I'm bald. I need a cap. I'm gonna go burnt head. Be burnt head. I need a cap. Um, when it comes to wrestling, as you said, you've wrestled like you want to wrestle Price. Do you prefer like men, you versus a guy, or you versus a girl? Like, what is your favorite?
I definitely prefer me versus guys. Um, I think and it's nothing wrong with wrestling the girls. The girls are fun to wrestle. But the guys have like less regard like for their life and stuff. They they just want to do whatever. Like, yeah, you can fucking kill me if you want to. And I was like, All right.
Those guys are crazy. They're like, okay, it's like when they like you said you want to wrestle guy, you like wrestling guys. Like, do you ever get in your thought like that? What if that guy is like Gunther and he has like that chop from hell? Like, are you worried about that?
No, and it's, you know what? I trained my home promotion AIW. We're known there for being hitters. A lot of us hit really hard. So, training with them and stuff. And then growing up, I had, my brother, and I grew up with a lot of guys and stuff. So it's just like, whatever.
Mm.
Like, long as they don't like chop me like straight in the chest, like they come just like up here, that's fine.
Yeah.
Like, I don't care. Yeah.
So, do you
So,
have any crazy stories from traveling or during a match?
um, yeah. Okay. So recently, actually, I was wrestling this guy, Dr. Dan. Um, he also, side note with that, he also helped me a lot um, in training as well. So shout out to him. We were wrestling at a show called Wrestle Rager for my home promotion AIW, and he gave me a springboard arm drag. But the way we landed, my wrist popped like out, like dislocated. So I was like, oh, like I took it and I was like, oh shit, and I got up and I just popped it back in. I just hit my hand, like bam, and then we just and then we finished the match. And he came in the back and like after the match, he was like, "Oh my god, like are you okay? Did I mess your shoulder up?" And I was like, "It wasn't my shoulder, it was my hand, but I'm fine." And
Oh,
like my hand
gee.
is still fucked up right now. Like it's terrible, but at the time I was
Oh.
like, "Oh, it's not that bad.
So,
It's not
was
that
it
bad."
just limp there in the ring like this, or did you just know it was broken?
I knew like it was messed up because like as soon as I landed, I heard the little pop. So I was like, oh shit. So I got up and I was just like, yeah. And like I went to college for like kinesiology, so that's like sports stuff, like sports
Oh,
medicine,
you're
sports
sports
injury.
medicine. Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, so I'm very versed in how to just pop it back in.
Well,
But so
like
I
Finn, like when Finn Balor did that against what's his face back in the day when he was in the title match against what's his face? Oh my god, the world heavyweight champion on Raw. When he hurt his shoulder, he popped it back into the socket and won the belt, but he had to. Sorry.
yeah.
Like when you're traveling, is it better to travel by yourself or in groups with wrestlers? What would you think?
For that, it really depends. Like, if it's a close show, I prefer to travel by myself. But if it's like anything over like 3 hours, which 3 hours is still relatively close, but like anything like 3 hours and over, I like to, get a carload going. We all jump in together. Let's ride together. That's how you build bonds in wrestling, like through traveling together and stuff. So
Mm,
it really just depends for me.
yeah. So like before or after a show, what is your like go to like food? What is your favorite food to eat?
All right, before shows, I try not to eat, because I have this bad thought that I might like throw up or like shit my pants during the match. So
Oh no.
I'm so worried about that. So I never eat like before I have to wrestle. Um, so I really like just drink like an energy drink or like coffee or something really, or and a bunch of water. But after a show, um, if I'm not going like straight home, it's like probably like chicken wings or something like
Mm.
something like that.
Like a local bar's wings, or do you go like Buffalo Wild Wings? Like which one? Or pizza
I
place?
love I love local places, chicken wings. Like
I live in a small town, so I'm small town strong. That's me, dudes at Ringside. I live in a little small
yeah,
town in PA. So hearing that small town strong right here, guy gave it a thumbs up.
yeah.
That's good answer about because I get a lot of people because after shows there's nothing really open, so they have to go to like a Domino's or Pizza Hut or Buffalo Wild Wings. I'm like, you can't go to Buffalo Wild Wings. You're like at the end of the day, like those wings are who knows how long they've been in that freaking fryer. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, ugh. So in closing, if my fans would like to follow you on social media, where can they find you?
So on Instagram, it's Joseline__Navarro. On Twitter, it's Joss_E_Navarro. And on TikTok, it's Joseline_Navarro 13. Y'all can follow me on there. Oh, on
And if
YouTube also.
oh,
Sorry. Subscribe
oh
to my YouTube, Joseline Navarro also.
yep, as I put the girl doing this, subscribe, subscribe. But we both have YouTube. And me, if you want guys want to find me, and why would you want to? Look me up on Dudes at Ringside Podcast under Instagram. You could find it on Facebook under the Real Dudes at Ringside. If you're already here, Durf, you're watching me here on the Joe Panther Variety Show. And if you're listening, of course, because the thing listening is power, you're listening on Spotify right now under the Joe Panther Variety Show. And if my fans also want to buy me your merch, do you have any merch out yet?
I do have some merch out. I left Pro Wrestling Tees, so I had to put my new t-shirt link in my bio thing. So I'll be doing that probably tomorrow. I gotta get the link from the new.
Well, if you
Uh,
get any new T-shirts, I could help you put it in my story so fans want to find something cool for you. You know what I mean?
oh, for
Like
sure,
I
because
would.
I'm about to drop a new shirt too. So
Ooh, send me a sneak. Send me. I'm not gonna. If you just tell me don't post it yet, Joe. I want to see what kind of cool stuff you got because I just have stickers. I don't have T-shirts yet. So
yeah,
yeah.
I'm
Well,
definitely send it
right
to you
before we
when we
go,
get off.
what's that?
I'm gonna send it to you when we get off here.
All right, cool. Before
Yeah.
we go, if there's any young male or female that wanted to get in the wrestling business, either to be a manager, a ring announcer, a commentator, or a wrestler, as I just said twice, what kind of advice would you give them?
Don't be afraid. Like if this is what you want to do, if this is what you've dreamed about doing, don't let anybody stop you or scare you from trying it out and going for it. Because at the end of the day, when you're like at the end of your life, you're gonna look back and think of all the things that you did or that you didn't do. And this is something that you don't want to look back and regret not trying. So definitely try it, give it your all, do what you gotta do.
Awesome. I want to thank you so much for coming on the podcast. It means I'm so happy I finally got you because like last year we were talking and then it never happened and all kinds of chaos. But finally, thank you so much. Please tell your wrestling friends about the podcast. I'm up to any men and women, everybody, ring announcers. It's in the name, Ringside. So like anybody in the backstage, even the bell guy, I don't care. He has a story. Like he may have been attacked by the bully wrestler backstage and told you were supposed to ring the bell and didn't ring the bell. So Joseline, thank you so much for coming on Dudes at Ringside. You've been added to the Wall of Fame of the internationally known all the wrestlers that have been here from France to America to England, Boston, everywhere. So Joseline, welcome. And I'm Joe Panther the Third. Your turn.
And I'm the gold standard, Jocelyn Navarro.
And we will catch you in the next one. Good night, everybody.